I, for one, have never been pessimistic about America, present or future. And you people clearly have never suffered from such pessimism either. That is why you get things done. Florida today is typical of what is best in America. You have dreams, visions about the future, but you don't just think and talk about them. You get going on them. You have a wealth of natural and human resources here, but you just don't brag about them, you use them. The consequence is a diversified economy, a widely shared prosperity that, great as it is today, merely forecasts the advances you will make in the years ahead. My friends, my thanks for your courteous attention and for coming out to this place this evening. Thank you.
Noon exactly, the plane took off at 8:39 this morning. This is the first of two propeller stops the president will make in Florida today. He intends to be on the ground in Miami approximately a half hour, and then will take off for Jacksonville. He will make one more stop late this afternoon at Richmond, Virginia, before returning to Washington, completing his whirlwind campaign journey into the South today. Republican leaders in Florida say this will cinch it. Mr. Eisenhower's speech in Miami and Jacksonville today, that they thought they were going to win, but this will put the clincher on the campaign. The Colombine will taxi up into position. A committee of state and local Republican leaders will greet the president, and he will be escorted directly to the Speaker's platform. The greeting committee is headed by retired General James A. Van Fleet. We'll now cut to the field and pick up the report from WTVJ newsman Del Frank.
Any moment now, the president will be coming down, followed by Mrs. Eisenhower and his retinue. Here comes the president now. Applause, cheers, whistles. President comes down with Mrs. Eisenhower on his arm, followed by new Secretary Jim Haggerty.
The chant comes up, "We like Ike," and hands, as you can see, are stretched across the restraining rope toward the president. The chant continues as he walks along the pathway. The president, Mrs. Eisenhower, flanked by state Republican leaders, nearing the Speaker's platform.
I have been advised that it's a waste of time for me to visit the South this year. And of course I was told that 4 years ago. But I have been told that Florida's decision in 1952 was a sheer political accident. never to be repeated. Now, I should like to show you, my friends, that the entire state of Florida and its progress today is vindication of this administration's policy, that the American people, first, given freedom from war and uneasiness about their defenses against war, can use the new knowledge of modern science and its new tools to build a prosperity unparalleled in our history. In such a critical situation, we cannot expect to erase suddenly the bitter heritage of the ages. We can, we must, and we shall go on striving to do all in our power to heal old wounds, rather than to let them reopen in bloodshed. 4 years ago, I pledged as president of all the people, I would use every proper influence of my office to promote for all citizens that equality before the law and of opportunity visualized by our founding fathers. I promised further to do this with the conviction that progress toward equality had to be achieved finally in the hearts of men rather than in legislative halls. I urged then, as I urge now, the handling of this question to the greatest possible extent on a state and local basis. I believed then, as I believe now, that there must be intelligent understanding of the human factors and emotions involved if we are to make steady progress in the matter rather than simply to make political promises never intended to be kept.